Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland, and this is the world famous Shandon Church in Cork. Well, it's world famous in Cork. Anyway, St Anne's is the proper name of this church, and it was built in 1722. It's a Church of Ireland one. So we're on the north side of the city. Let me be absolutely candid. This is usually considered the less desirable side of the city. So there it is. What would I say? Handsome, imposing. Certainly the bell tower is. Not lovely. All grey stone, somewhat vernacular for the era. Is it something of a throwback? But just, you know, look how tall that is in comparison to everything around it, which would have been even more low-rise. So they say the very first settlement in Cork was somewhere up here, but really Cork as we know it, on the island of Cork, in the centre, that's much later. So when this was built, the city was only just expanding north of the river. Look at the other houses around, and some of these will be built well after 1722. So this was the tallest building in the area by a very long way, and was the tallest building in the city for quite a long time. Anyway, so they still hold divine worship there in over 10:15 every Sunday, which is astonishing because you think there's scarcely any Protestants on the north side of the city. But obviously there were a few of them living at the time because we had a largely urban Protestant population, and the Catholic community was rural for the most part, and obviously certainly in 1722 that was a majority of us. Perhaps 70% of the people were Catholic in Cork. Well, County Cork would be rather higher than that. What else? So it's renowned because of that late 19th century song, "The Bells of Shandon" by Father Prout. Now that wasn't his real name. He's a Catholic priest, and Marnie was his surname, Francis Sylvester Marnie, if I got that right. Sometimes called the four-faced liar, because you see the time there. Okay, we'll go and have a look at another clock face. I don't know how they got it this way. I don't think it was deliberate. And you see, the time here is completely different, and the time is totally different on all four sides of the clock. I don't know why that's the case. So if I go some distance away from it, you'll get some idea of the scale in relation to its surroundings. So that's St Anne's Church, and I first went in 2004. You can pay to go in right up the clock tower. You have to wear ear defenders, but you're allowed to ring the bells if you like. Anyway, and there's some sort of dedications of various monarchs there, because of course the Church of Ireland was the state church. We're a monarchy then, the Kingdom of Ireland, and the monarch was the supreme governor of the Church of Ireland. So there we are. It was difficult to make out from this angle, but there's a golden salmon which is sitting aloft yon bell tower, so the Goldie Fish as it's sometimes called. So this Shandon area was renowned for its butter exchange, which is a bit behind us. There are various charitable institutions established by the Church of Ireland in the area for those, well, in mendicity. There's an almshouse for paupers. There was a school, Greencoat School, hard by, which no longer exists. I can't think what's built on the site of it. There was a hospital, the North Infirmary, but that's now a hotel. There was a nurse's home, which is now Kinlay House, which is a youth hostel. So I'm not sure we'll actually go into it. I have been into it, and you can see the graveyard. So I'm impressed that it keeps going. I visited in 2004, and you couldn't go into the churchyard. It was completely Trina Kayla, as we say in Irish, like it hadn't been cared for. Yet the incumbent here is the Reverend Sarah Barry. Yes, a woman, for a clergy woman to have the surname Mary, or indeed a clergyman. So €5 to go in and up there. I'm not sure I'll bother this time. And here we are in the graveyard, and it was totally overgrown, unkempt, hadn't been cared for years, as in almost nobody came in here. But it's very different now, as you can see. I'm very glad that they're doing something with it, just as a park. Not that people can play football, but you know. So the Church of Ireland, well, here in the Republic of Ireland, has got a small proportion of the population. Perhaps 5% of Protestants are all denominations. Not all of those are Church of Ireland. There are Baptists, there are Presbyterians, there are Quakers and so forth. So Church of Ireland people might be 3% of the population, something like that. Now obviously most people are Catholic, but an increasing number of people are non-religious. At least 10% of the population is non-religious. We've got a few Muslims and Hindus now, might be 1% each in the population. So still the Catholic community must be 80% of the population of the Republic of Ireland. Anyway, so you get some idea of the scale of the churchyard. Some headstones here, fallen over, and then you see a few of them still standing, a few tombs, but the inscriptions on them are all but illegible. They've been weathered over the centuries. And look, they had to put this chicken wire here so the windows didn't get smashed, because, you know, it was a fairly poverty-stricken area, quite high crime and a lot of vandalism and blah blah blah. And when I came here in 2004, the man said, oh, well, there had been a little bit of vandalism. He thinks it wasn't an anti-Protestant thing, but the church was more or less disused. I mean, to be completely frank, I'm not sure that it was used for worship at all. They hadn't pulled it down at least, tourists were going in. So that's that. And more gravestones here. You get the idea of the size of the place. There's Mangan. Now the tourists are ringing the bells because it's not on the hour. And you see another to the east here, as in the direction of Jerusalem. That's the altar. And another stained glass window. It doesn't seem very colourful from here. Anyway, this is Kinlay House I was talking about. This is the former nurses' home. And if I'm right, before that used to be the Greencoat School, long since demolished, which was connected to the church, not physically connected. So it's for Protestant children. Later, Catholic children were allowed to go to, but very, very few did. And there is this hotel, formerly the North Infirmary, as in a hospital. So that's that. And then there's an extension of the graveyard across the lane over there. But again, very few graves are still extant. If you look back, you see some of the headstones leaning against that wall over there. If you look back 20 years, there were loads of them. But I mean, you are unable to read any of them because, as I say, things have just been worn away by the vagaries of time, wind and rain. So much precipitation in Ireland. Look above, you wouldn't guess that it's the height of summer. All right, so that's enough from the bells of Shandon. And of course, maybe you can see the Goldie fish a bit more easily here. And you can see that the time is completely different on this face from the others. Okay, I shall switch it off. Goodbye from the bells of Shandon.